Welcome to Arizona Real Estate News, and the studio lights are so bright that Jackie and Ruby had to put on shades.
That's right.
We're incognito.
Okay,
Shh, don't tell anybody.
You're not really here. Well,
We're not here.
Well, welcome. Pat is here, and we are ready to roll. And we want to announce that today, going forward here, we finally have a show sponsor. We have the Red Hog Media is sponsoring our show. And if you're a real estate agent, you're looking for real estate videos and photography and drone shots, I highly recommend it. But they also do business videos. So if you're a business and you need to showcase your business, highly recommend Red Hog Media. And their link is below in the description. And when you contact them, let them know the code word Rick helps, and you will get 10% off. How cool is that?
Yeah, that's awesome.
Should be a lot of fun. So here's my 7-day moving average. I put some arrows in there for illustration. I've got Mother's Day, Memorial Day, and 4th of July. And over here is Labor Day. And we came up and went down, started to go down just a little bit on contracts. But we didn't go down as low as 4th of July, and I thought we would. But 4th of July, sales just tanked, but then they came right back up. But we haven't passed that line there of 2,900 in a long, long time. And for some reason, new listings popped up here over the past few days, and now they're right back down.
Rick, was that maybe the 3-day people? End of the month?
It could be. I mean, I didn't see a huge pop, though, in cancellations and then coming up. But it's one of those numbers I just can't explain, so I'm ignoring it. In the Crawford,
good idea.
Yeah, it's a good strategy. It's worked for me my whole life. And August had the maximum number of working days, 23, for title companies to close escrow. So it's like 15% more than July, right? Which only had 20 days. So they're saying all things being created equal, they expected 15% more closings than July. What happened? We went down 2.3%. So that shows you just how dismal August was when it came to sales. But we did have a couple of good weeks, when rates kind of muddled down around the 5.1. But you can see the Crawford Market Index is leveling out, and everything appears to be leveling out, even the price reductions.
Hey, Rick.
These are listing prices. So, yes.
Isn't that typical, though, for the end of August starting?
Well, no, because you're still comparing August to July and August to last August.
Okay.
The August numbers this year compared to last August are even worse. August 22 had a 4.5% advantage over August 21, having 23 working days, 22, but closings dropped 38% year over year. But new construction went up. So listing prices are continuing their decline, but not at a rapid scale like they did up here. They're starting to flatten out, but you can see that listing prices per square foot are now right there with 2021.
So here's a question for you, Rick.
Yeah.
The builders, for example, Lennar, they're doing $90,000 to $50,000 price drops. Are those going to be would they account for anything in here if they've been listed in the MLS?
It probably depends on how many they put on the MLS.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a lot. There are some builders I see there, but I'm not. I think a lot of the price reductions too are still open door. They still have, I think it's 1,900 active listings, and they're selling 477 a month. So do the math. They're going to be doing this for another 3-4 months. So to get out that inventory.
Open Door actually had listings, brand new home builds that I just came across over the last few days. I just took a client out to Lennar and looking at new builds, but I just came across Open Door was listing brand new builds that.
Whoa.
That's interesting.
So it was bizarre. I need to delve into it a little bit further and research why.
Yeah, let's see if we can find out about that.
So I will.
That is
article
Very
here on
interesting.
home builder sentiment, and it says incentives continue to grow with some communities pushing 20% in total discount packages. This is a Phoenix builder. The positive is that there's light at the end of the tunnel for improved building cycle times. The negative is there won't be customers on the other side of said tunnel.
Yeah.
So they admit they're discounting, but they're not seeing anybody there. Now, I got this email this morning from, who are these guys? What builder is this? Pulte Homes. They're advertising these great price reductions. And here they went from 830 to 813, but check this one out. They went down $445. So I'm going to rush right out there. It went from 797 to 796. But they're touting that they're offering a lot of financing buy downs. So it's an interesting little turn of events going on in that market. And Mr. Pat, what the heck's going on with rates? It looks to me like they've already built in the upcoming 75-point increase.
I hope.
I think so. I mean, you see right here, you see the chart.
Yeah.
Basically, we got from beginning of August to the beginning of September. I mean, we're just seeing this. This is the price. Once again, I'll flip this around here. Give me 1 second here. You know me and my prices. But this has been the run up in rates, obviously from August to September. We're seeing a top here. I mean, they're saying 3.5. We had kind of a bad day yesterday, or not the day before yesterday. So, yeah, I mean, I think we saw this before. The last time the Feds met, that there was a run up in rates and then they subsided. I think there's one service that I subscribe to that basically says, since the run up in rates, there's no need to lock now. He goes, that's been built in. So I think the European Central Bank, they raised their rate 75 bips last night. And actually, as you can see, today's market in the Treasury, the 4.5 coupon was only down 11. It was up 2 bips in price, or in rate, 3.28. The high was 3.30. So, I mean, I heard and read that there's a leak. There's some guy that's, they leaked this information to, so he kind of softens the blow of the Fed news.
Well, does anybody think they're going to go up 100 basis points?
I haven't seen that at all. No, I have not seen that at all. I think they're going to, I mean, this is just Pat McMaster's in Chandler, Arizona, but, but
you're all we got.
Huh? What's that?
I said, you're all we got.
Yeah. It's, hey, I tell you what, I'll take my word over, some of these experts are so-called experts. I mean, I've seen their calls and they're not that good. I mean, look at you got the Federal Reserve. Obviously, you and I have been laughing about this the last year and a half about calling transitory. You and I were sitting on our little 2-man podcast last year saying, now inflation is not transitory. And sure enough as hell, it was not transitory. So I'll take my word just as good as Federal Powell. But I mean, I just think that they know they're behind the curve. They're going to probably step at 3/4 of a point now, and then probably another 3/4 of a point. And then, there's one Federal Reserve Chairman, Muster, I don't know, she was saying that they're going to, create this pain. And obviously Powell said about the pain. Now they're trying, it's kind of like, I think they got beaten up the last year and a half. And now they're trying to be the tough guy.
Yeah, I get that. And I spoke a little bit last week. I think there's a real disconnect between how much they're trying to tighten and how much the administration is spending. It's like, it's like being married and saying, okay, I'm going to hang on to this money here, but the spouse goes out and runs up a credit card at Nordstrom. So, I mean, that's what's going on. And you're seeing the administration start to beat up the Fed a little bit about all the pain talk. So there's a battle going on here. And I think it's pissing off Chairman Powell. And he's just going to stand his ground.
I think so. I mean, I told you that's a great analogy as far as you got the married couple, one spending and one wants to save, and it's just like it's really they're not working hand in hand. I mean, which is obviously frustrating the the markets. I think the markets are going to certainly work with Powell or trust Powell more than the administration, because it's all the administration just making it political. And he's like, now, because I think the feds are trying to act like put their tough guy muscles on and say, okay, we're going to create pain and we're going to do this. And I think once again, they're going to step on it here and then step on it the next meeting, and then let it sit there for a bit. And, you've got, right now you've got, on my end, you've got lock volume down year to date, 53%. I mean, it's, refis are down 85%. So everything's slowing down on the mortgage side. You've got lenders, obviously. It's kind of interesting on our side. You got wholesale and retail lenders. Some of them do both, and they're saying, "Oh, we're getting out of wholesale," but they just don't want to admit that everything's slowing down. So I think Powell's trying to tap down, home prices. This is his way of, obviously keeping rates elevated. But people say, "Oh, there's gonna be a crash," but back in June and July, there was over $27 trillion of home equity. So if we lose, 10%, that's $2.73 trillion. There's still a lot of equity out there.
Yeah. It's hard to look at the crash, but it's very easy and very welcome to look at an adjustment. And Jackie and Ruby, what are your clients telling you? Are you having problems getting any price adjustments out there? And are people still plugging away, or are they backing off?
Well, we've been kind of working two different sides. So I've been working more gearing toward the listings. We have an investor that's he's been running some marketing ads and sending us quite a few leads for people interested in selling. Some of them are very realistic. They understand what's happening with the market, and some of them aren't. We just took another new listing. We got word this morning that we're getting it out in Buckeye, which, we had a conversation. We took the whole Cromford market report with us, left the entire presentation in the last one that Tina just did. And I'm like, Buckeye is the worst, the slowest. It is definitely a buyer's market. So this person was listed with the 3-day people prior, and not much happened. They started out at 400 and then they raised it to 410 in July, which made no sense whatsoever. So we're coming in starting at 399. So I think he's being somewhat realistic, and hopefully we'll get some activity on that. But I think our sellers are starting to realize that we've got to be aggressive. We unfortunately, it's the buyer pool is shrunk, and you've got to price appropriately. Ruby's been working more with the buy side, so I'll let her talk about that.
Well, I don't know that I'm working more with the buy side. I've got my listings too. And one of my sellers literally just said yesterday that this property is starting to be just a money pit, and he inherited it from his dad who passed. So we've, tried to get it sold at a realistic price, but it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. It's just, it's a tough sale for, just this time of year anyway. And then the buyers, I've got several buyers out there going out to Lennar. They're offering co-brokes again, special financing to bring down the buyer's interest rate. So that's huge. I think the one I got under contract yesterday was $10,000 towards buying down the interest rate or the closing costs, however it needed to be used. So yeah,
I'm seeing listings that use the verbiage priced below comps, and I just had to think, well, you better be.
Which comps are you using? That's the question. Are you
2 weeks ago comps or 1 month ago?
Yeah, you better, if you're priced at comps like the 3-month average that people tend to use, then you're way off.
So when we're meeting with clients, we're actually telling them, forget the sold comps. Let's just completely. I'm printing a few back to July 1st, but let's take them off the table. We need to look at what's active, under contract, and pending, and base our pricing off that. Just totally take the sold comps off the table.
And it's a bummer. Honestly, it's a real bummer. I know, Rick, you probably experience it too, but as realtors, we don't want to have to be doing price reductions for our sellers at any point. But I mean, that's just where we're at right now. That's where the market's at.
But I think
Well,
you have to give people. I think you have to give people a realistic. I mean, you can't always be, rosy and dark chocolates and champagne. you gotta lay it down on the line. I mean, I think people are realistic. People are smart. They realize that the market doesn't go up, 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 and you have to just give them the, not bad news, but just realistic news.
Right.
That's what they pay professionals for.
We have a reputation of just wanting to hold prices up. Even on the water video that I had, somebody made the comment, you realtors just don't want prices to come down. That's why you're lying about the water shortage. I look at that
my
and go,
Lord.
I don't remember lying about the water shortage. I was just saying, here's what, but I have another one coming out on Sunday that I think you'll really like. But we have a reputation of we're only happy if prices continue to go up because we make more commission. When in reality, when the prices were going up, the commissions were cut.
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Right.
So that wasn't necessarily the case.
And that was not a fun market for anybody. Nobody likes to have buyers be so disappointed and beat out and beat out and beat out and put, their best offers forward and come in 10, 20, 30,000 above list price to be beat out by an institutional buyer. I mean, that was not fun at all. It was heartbreaking. I mean, you would have some clients, you'd write 15, 20 offers for them, and then they'd just throw their hands up and say, I can't take this anymore. That was horrible.
Well, and Jackie, Pat sent this article today, and you were alluding to it last week. The Blackstone's exit from single-family buying signals easing competition for homes. So there's an institutional buyer that says, we're out, we're backing off.
But wait, you got to understand there is more. And I am going to do a video on this. So the part that's out is Home Partners of America, which they bought, I believe, earlier in the year or last year. I don't remember exactly when they bought them. And I'm actually certified as a Home Partners of America agent. And it's a great program, but it only works in an escalating market. So basically what happens is they take a buyer that is unable to qualify right now. They give them up to 5 years to purchase the house. They were escalating it, I believe, at 5% a year. So they would be a cash buyer. They would allow them to lease the property up to 5 years, and their earnest deposit would go toward the purchase price. And it was a great program for people that were close to qualifying, but weren't quite there. Well, if we don't know where the market is, and they pull it out of 38 cities, Phoenix is not one of them. Tucson was one of them. It only works in an escalating market. And I think they realize we're in a stagnant market. Blackstone's still buying. They are still buying, but they're shutting down some of the home partner programs. And they did that last year too, for a period of time. So Home Partners did that before they merged. So it's not like this is something new. Home Partners is, emerged, pulled back, emerged, pulled back before. So I think they're just kind of waiting to see what happens. And like I said, it only works in an escalating market.
Yeah. Well, Ruby, you said you got a contract on a new build. Can I ask you what kind of earnest money did they require?
$15,000.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah. 15,000. Actually, no, I'm sorry. It was 10. It's 10,000. The sales price $400 and $24.99.
That can go up after a trip to the design center, though, right?
Well, it's actually an inventory home that is scheduled to be done the end of October.
Okay.
So everything's already set. A lot of these builders I'm finding are just doing, I'm going to call it, they're just like in process inventory homes. Like they're just already, this is what you get. This is standard. There's no design centers. They're taking away the design centers. So most of them, you get these options and that's it.
So is that a result of people backing out of the contracts and now they got the home available?
No, it's just, for example, it's kind of like affordable housing, but not really affordable for most people. But Starlight Homes, Lennar, they've got certain models in certain communities that they're just doing specific things. So this one's actually at the end of out at the end of Litchfield Park, just the very west side of Litchfield Park by Verrado. So it's a great area.
Yeah, that is nice out there. So well, this week, Pat, when is the Fed meeting?
Jerry and I are getting together February 20th and 21st.
Are you? Is he coming over to your place?
I'm gonna go out and see him he came over last time. I'm gonna go see him.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna go see him this time. It's kind of like a back and forth, I go there, he comes here, so the 20th and 21st.
Well,
so
he's
that's
probably
Tuesday
not
and
going to come
Wednesday.
back because you served him.
Well,
a
he
hot
usually
dog last
doesn't
time,
come out
so-
here during the summer. He likes me to go back there in Washington.
Okay, well that makes sense. I mean, you've been
So-
flying all over the place anyway, so and it also could be that you served him a warm beer and a crappy hot dog, so he's going to
That's exactly right. But no,
I
that's
know that from experience. So.
20th and 21st, Tuesday and Wednesday. But I think, I said that staircase climb up in rates, I think we're going to see it. I mean, my crystal ball was broken, but I think we're going to see it back off a little bit. I mean, it's built in already. So, but that,
if they don't go up 75 points, the stock market's going to revolt.
Mhm.
Yep.
It'll just tank. They'll go.
Yep.
You're speaking out of both sides of your mouth. You're not going clamping down as tight as we'd like you to, and they're just gonna. That's just my little, Rick thought. So
Oh, I think you're 100% right.
So we'll see what happens. Well, it's going to be a kind of a quiet week as we get out the next week. So not much earth shattering. I do want to see how much, if all, we dig out of the Labor Day dip that we have in that chart, because it's the gap between the number of homes that we have on the market and the number that are selling that is not really climbing. It's about 1,400. So the price reductions are starting to tail off a little bit in with the exception of, Open Door and stuff. So I think the pricing pressure is starting to ease off just a hair, but any further uptick in interest rates and all bets are off the table as far as I'm concerned. So
I think it's just going to be a very stagnant market for the rest of the year.
Yep. I'm seeing a lot of open house signs.
Mhm.
Haven't seen those in a while. Everybody, well, thanks for joining me. We will check back with you next week. Take care.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Talk to you later.
Bye.